All right, so let's get into the latest from Taika Waititi. This one is Next Goal Wins. I think you did not catch this one at Toronto Art, or did?
I did. I
Okay,
don't know
great.
why. Hey, dude, I did everything to get rid of my ticket to catch something that is going to be new. For a second, I held on to it because I think he joked that this isn't coming out until 2024. I think that was just a bit he was doing.
Yeah.
I ended up with a ticket. It was at the Visa Screening Room, which is one of the more nicer Dolby-like theaters there. You start off, bro.
All right, so I have this in our awards contender section because I think a lot of people came into this expecting it to be a front runner for People's Choice, and as we were talking about, People's Choice often comes hand in hand with an Oscar nomination. Plus, Taika does have his history with Jojo Rabbit at TIFF, so
People's Choice.
Maybe he's got another one in the bag. I think the less we talk about Jojo Rabbit, the better. This one, coincidentally or not, I caught it on the anniversary of 9/11. It's an adaptation of the documentary of the same name, Next Goal Wins, that came out, I think, in 2014, about a Dutch coach who's hired by the U.S. Soccer Federation to take over American Samoa and turn them from the last place ranked team in the world into something better than that, maybe try to qualify for a World Cup, mostly just try to score a goal.
A goal.
And like, look, it's a pretty goofy concept, I guess, and Taika is like a goofy guy. There's times where that sort of works. There's some sort of like common chemistry there, but it has like this the feel of a common like sports underdog story. But to me, I guess where my problems start with the film is like I want to compare it to like The Big Green or Kicking and Screaming. These movies,
the second one, yeah.
These movies where comedians play the coach to a bunch of toddlers and try to get them to be better at soccer. Except the problem here is it's not a bunch of toddlers, but it's a bunch of American Samoans, and it sort of just infantilizes all of them in this kind of strange, condescending way. They all sort of take on the personality of Korg. Like they don't have unique personalities. They're all just kind of Korg. And
according to him,
his
Korg and everyone there is supposed to just be his culture, right? Like that's kind of what he's done. He's going to make the sports movie. He's going to make the Marvel movie. He's going to make whatever the genre is with that same, he doesn't call it Korg. He calls it his style, his sense of humor, whatever it is, right? It'd be like putting the Michael Pena Ant-Man 2 overly talking Hispanic in every single like genre and then just saying like, oh, there you go. That's the representation.
Yeah.
I heard the interview where he said, I don't know anything about sports.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you that from watching his direction of soccer scenes.
You would know exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it just sort of like it never really feels like a compelling sports film. Like it doesn't. It wants to cut away from the soccer as much as possible to give you kind of quirky dialogue and like treat people in American Samoa like they're like backwards or whatever. And I don't know. It didn't really work for me. There are some jokes that I found funny, but there's so many hacky ones as well. Yeah. There's like a part where Michael Fassbender sort of does the quote from Taken as if that isn't like a joke that your grandpa knows by now. It's just not... It's not fresh at all, which is a shame because I do think there'd be a really fun story to tell here, but it falls into so many tropes that I don't know. I was pretty bored by it. Michael Fassbender is fine. I don't think he is he's interesting at least to watch, but there's not a lot for him to do here. I also feel like the way that the film it utilizes its trans character or is like kind of like backwards in terms of like propping her up as this sort of like unique special, like I don't know, like it feels, I don't know exactly how to put the words to it, but it also feels infantilizing in a way, which is the opposite of like her in the documentary where she's just part of the team and it's not really a big thing. They like include weird transphobia in the movie to try and make a point that wasn't really an issue in the documentary. I find it all kind of a bit icky. I didn't think it was like it didn't make me want to pull my hair out. I liked it more than Jojo Rabbit, but I didn't think it's very good. And it seems like a lot of people agree that this isn't going to go anywhere in like the awards race.
Yeah, it seemed pretty standard. I haven't seen the doc yet, so I'm very curious to see it. But I know she was there also to present as well.
Yeah,
and
the real
coach
life.
was there, and he was talking about like, yeah, this is like the first time we've met. So like, I don't really see the passion in the passion project to be the thing that you took a little bit off to focus on amongst all the other bigger movies. I had heard a lot of pushback for that scene as well. If it's not in the documentary, I don't see why it's needed. In the context of it, the guy's an asshole. And he gets a DUI like the following scene. So I did see a lot of people like really upset as if like it was supposed to be a good thing in the movie. I don't think it's a good thing in the movie. But you take that, and then like you said, how they're almost parading, as you're saying, you're not really acknowledging her. You're almost like putting her on a pedestal to kind of be the marketing for the movie.
Yeah,
and it feels like you're making up for it as well. And I think his speech at the Q&A that he had for the intro that I listened back to, someone can praise you to the point that it's condescending.
Yes, exactly. Like
it's a fine movie. It's right. Like you're almost like, what else do you want to get into?
I don't know, man.
I want more from Taika. Taika's a funny guy. He can do different things. I told you there's an after credit scene. Pointless, bro.
Yeah, dude. His whole role in the film is kind of pointless. Like he just shoehorns himself in way too much here, and like I like so much of what Taika has done, but he is a victim of his own like hype in some ways. Like I think he thinks he's now the funniest thing, and I think he needs to take a lot more time and like actually work on a good script for a change.
He made a Billy. He made a Billy off of Thor 4. Who's gonna tell him?
Exactly.